Recently, actually about a week ago, Rafi Eitan, a Mossad agent and former head of the Mossad, passed away at the age of 92. He was one of the central figures involved in the Mossad's operation to kidnap Adolf Eichmann, the infamous Nazi who was hiding in Argentina with the collusion of the Argentinian government. And he was hiding out in Argentina, and an Israeli group of Mossad agents, after a lot of investigation and verification that indeed he was Adolf Eichmann, kidnapped him, took him back to Israel. I was very privileged to know personally Peter Malkin, who was one of the Mossad agents involved. He had retired, of course, and he was an artist, but he came to a number of our seminars, and I spent a few Shabboses with him. Amazing fellow, very strong grip, but amazing fellow. And these two gentlemen, Peter Malkin, Rafi Eitan, both who have passed away since, both were involved in the capture of Adolf Eichmann, bringing him to Israel and bringing him to justice in a very famous trial in which he was eventually hanged by an Israeli court, and the only death sentence that Israel has actually ever instituted for this mass murderer and engineer of the mass murder of literally millions of Jews. And the question that I was thinking about and that people have asked me is revenge. Is that a Jewish idea? I mean, is it okay to take revenge? Is there something wrong with it? We know that the Bible tells us do not take revenge and do not bear a grudge. But that is much more focused on internal, i.e., your friend says, "Can I borrow your lawnmower?" And I say, "You did not lend me your snowblower when it was winter. I am not going to lend you my lawnmower now." That would be wrong. You're not allowed to do that. That's petty. That's silly. That's taking revenge. Even bearing a grudge, in which case you'd say, "Of course I'll lend you my lawnmower. Do you think I'm like you who did not lend me your snowblower?" That's also wrong. That's bearing a grudge. Just lend it to him, chill out, and leave it be. However, if someone has done an act of evil, and I don't mean by evil not lending his snowblower, I mean an act of evil as a mass murderer, someone like an Adolf Eichmann, someone like a leader of Hamas, etc., any of the Arab terrorists who perpetrated the Munich massacre at the Olympics, these people, we are not commanded to let it go. The Torah does not expect us to forgive and forget. On the contrary, Rav Sa'ad Gaon, a very great Jewish sage, 10th century, Rav Sa'ad Gaon actually writes that the feeling, the emotion of revenge has been planted in the human being so that people will actually serve justice, and justice will indeed be perpetrated against evildoers. So if not for that feeling that we want to take revenge, which we should suppress when it comes to our interpersonal relations without question, but on a national level, the Jewish people attacked by vile, evil villains in a heinous crime like the Holocaust, like acts of terrorism, then it's actually correct and appropriate for us to take revenge. Now, I should point out the Mossad agents didn't just assassinate him. He was brought back to Israel and he was put on trial. And so it wasn't exactly revenge, but even there's an element in revenge and in this type of activity. For example, when the Mossad agents killed the terrorists who were responsible for the attack at the Munich Olympics against the Israeli athletes there, that type of revenge also can be understood as, first of all, justice, that these people should not be able to get away with it, and in as much as the international justice system generally would not do anything about it. On the contrary, United Nations, well, let's forget that for the moment, but wouldn't do anything about it. So justice requires that Israel takes care of it and the Jews take care of it ourselves. Not only that, but it's an element of self-defense involved. If an evildoer sees they can get away with something and there is no consequences and they're safe and they're living in Argentina and no one's coming after them, they're likely to, other people and them are likely to do this type of thing again. If they have to live their lives looking over their shoulder, that there might be a Rafi Eitan or a Peter Malkin coming after them, then on the contrary, that is a great deterrent against acts of evil of this sort. So when Rafi Eitan passed away, I thought to myself, it was correct for Israel to kidnap Adolf Eichmann. It was correct for them to put him on trial. It was correct for them to hang him. And I would go even further, that had they not been able to put him on trial, it would have been correct to assassinate such a person. Revenge in the cause of justice against heinous evil of the type that the Nazis have done is perfectly acceptable. The Torah does not expect us to be, as in the words of the Sefer HaChinuch, great 13th century work, he says, you're not expected to be a stone that can be kicked around, turned over without reacting. Human being is expected to react. It is true in our personal relationship, in road rage, in traffic. I'm expected to control myself. But as a nation that is attacked, as a sovereign people who is attacked, as people who are victims of horrific crimes, it is correct and appropriate for us to have that feeling that we want justice to be served, we want revenge to be taken, and to capture someone like Eichmann, Rafi Eitan, Peter Malkin, and the rest of the Mossad agents acted as representatives of all the Jewish people. And all I can say is that a hero of the Jewish people, and actually a hero of humanity, passed away in the form of Rafi Eitan. Have a wonderful week, and thank you for watching.